I'm almost out of this raid. Sorry.
You still playing? You still playing Tarkov?
I'm trying to get out of it. I can't hear anything in the raid, so I'm like.
I'm almost to my location.
Oh my gosh! All right, so we've got half of our players are playing.
So I'm gonna
Escape
get on Dark
Tarkov
and
right
Light.
hey
worry.
guys, and welcome
here,
to New
guys.
Game Plus.
Oh
If you're just joining us for the first time, it might be a little bit confusing. The numbers are weird. It's funky, but we're just gonna try to have some fun, you know. So last week, the team finally gained access to the Sapphire District after they destroyed a guy and his followers by just. That was a weird fight, guys. Don't go back. Don't watch it. Don't
It was
ask
great.
about
I
it.
thought that was that last week or the week
That
before?
was the week before
It was
the
like-
fight happened.
It was like
Okay.
3 weeks before. It was a while ago.
Yeah, so the big old fight, just don't go back and watch it. Just to pretend it never happened. It was just blood everywhere. Lots of weird stuff. Anyways, the point is they won. They got their way into the Sapphire District where they wanted to go. They spoke to the head of the Aether Master's Order there, who said, you know what'll be great if you guys go to the Academy. They're like, we don't want to go to the Academy. He's like, go to the Academy. It'll be fun. And so they went to the Academy where they met a crazier old man who started touching them inappropriately and telling them that they can use the powers of gods. And
Because we're
helps
gods.
them sort of like find their like core like power and become more elite. So there we are. Each of them in turn was sort of influenced in a way and helped along the path to become more powerful. And so the last thing that happened in the last session was you all went to sleep in the cave.
Yay.
In the cave. In the cave. In the cave. In the cave.
Cave
section
within a cave.
down low below the ground. And we're going to be picking up this session once I scroll down because I've been in the other room.
Is it heavy?
What?
You pick up the session. He was asking if the session's heavy.
Okay. We're going to pick up the session with a nice little D4 roll to determine who is what.
Well, I'm me, Lock. You know.
We're going to be starting with Locke. Oh.
What'd I do?
No, we're going to skip Locke.
Skip me.
We're gonna start with Owen.
Okay.
Owen, in your sleep, you start to dream. You've had many dreams before, obviously. You're a living person, you've had dreams, but this dream feels different. It feels very familiar, as you find yourself in the body of another. You find yourself in a bed, waking up on fine linen sheets. Standing and turning, looking in the mirror, you see Kathos looking back at you. You don't seem to have full control over your body like you did the last time, but instead feel yourself compelled to do what it is Catho did. And as you turn around, looking into the bed beside you, you see glistening skin. And you recognize her almost immediately as the woman who had previously fought with you down in the mines. The one he had almost killed himself. You're not sure if this was before or after, but you see her gleaming wings, so if it was after, they must have come back. So, you want to assume before. He reaches over and touches her, and you can tell that they're lovers. The dream continues on for a while. You see sort of the day-to-day of Kathos. He gets up, he makes breakfast. And then together, the two of them, walk down the streets together. Everyone they pass looks at them, calls their names. They give them free food, give them baskets, they give them congratulatory gifts of all kinds. Then you realize he looks down once and he sees the ring upon his own finger. It's all a little bit hazy as you continue to go through this, and you get this feel for the way Kathos was treated. and you can tell for the first time that they truly did treat him like a hero during his time. Walking through the beautiful gilded streets of Utopolis. Make me one perception check.
Is that our wisdom in this one?
Yeah, wisdom.
That should be like
26?
3 higher. 29.
29,
I-
either way is
I
fine.
had 5 instead of 8, yeah.
The dream sort of fades in out as you start to wake up yourself. And you know how dreams are fleeting. So most of the words that were said during this dream that at the time would have felt visceral, you can't remember. Just the main stuff that I described. But one thing does catch your eye. There's one thing that you do remember. One thing that sticks to your ears. The name of the woman, the name of the celestial with the wings, was Amira.
Just gonna pull out my notebook and just write Amir like in one of the corners of the pages, just like question mark.
I just heard Sim gasp behind me in the kitchen. She was like, huh!
Oh, you were married to a goddess before she was a goddess.
So,
And just like underline it like 3 times.
yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, we're going to backtrack a bit back to a different set of dreams. Roa, as soon as she sits back down.
She's in Shadow Cat form. You can't see her.
Wait, I heard my name, but I didn't hear anything after that. I left the
Roa,
room.
you are sleeping,
Yes.
curled into a little ball.
Yes.
Cats usually are.
Yes.
Your
In a
dreams
dark corner underneath something.
are usually pretty simple. They're usually chasing something,
things.
hunting them down, eating them.
Cutting the heads off goblins.
The usual.
Yeah.
Tonight your dream's different. Tonight you dream of what looks like a black hole stuck in the side of a tree. Reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland, you see this black gaping hole and you feel yourself drawn towards it. As you enter, curious cat that you are, you find yourself tumbling downwards into a pit of what feels like eternal darkness. You feel like you're falling forever, but once you finally are about to hit the ground, or what you assume the ground must be, you slow, instantly unharmed. And you step with your cat paws onto a dark, cold stone path. Around you, you see darkness swirling in torrents. You see trees seem to be alive, the way they move with the twisting and turning shadows. You feel yourself urged forwards. As you walk, you see places where you have stepped before the ground falls away behind you. Continuing to travel along, you see living things that are unreal, impossible. Make a perception check for me to see if you can remember these.
Do I get any of my bonuses? Like I have dark vision and stuff?
Just roll a perception check.
Oops. $36.
36. Most of the creatures you don't remember, but the one thing you do remember when you wake up from this dream is as the path continues to wind on, near its end, you find yourself at a large door. The door has a large stone frame covered in black decor that seems like wrought iron going around it. There is no building to this door. It is simply the door itself. Hinging it to the frame around it are thousands of arms, the hands gripping the wood. And in the very center of the door, where the part of the door is, rests a giant eye. The eye is closed when you approach, but the last thing you remember is it opening slowly to look at you.
Creepy.
Everything about it is black except the iris. The iris burning with a deep green color.
Super creepy.
When you wake up, That's all you can really remember. Next, we'll step over to Locke. Locke, you haven't done a whole lot of dreaming, and the dreaming that you usually have is filled with nightmares. Locke.
Since I don't really sleep much.
Whenever you sort of doze back, you sort of remember your life before you were Locke the vampire. And you remember pretty much nothing but scary skeletons, monsters, and spiders and snakes and all that. So when you dream tonight, considering the choices that you've made, the things that have happened recently, the entire dream is just you doing naughty, naughty things with Pumpkin.
Perfect.
You wake up the same way you were only ever kind of asleep. And you find that you've been staring at Pumpkin the entire night. Pumpkin, who's just laying there, uncomfortably, still kind of looking at you as she woke up before you, your eyes staring at her. Yeah, you chose Jack, so you don't have some weird luck. Aramil.
Perfect.
When you dream, you've had dreams before, but most of the time, you're blackout drunk. So, it is really rare for a dream to happen for you. But this time, tonight when you fell asleep, you immediately felt yourself being pulled. Like you were being torn through space itself. You found yourself for a moment laying there in the cave, and then you felt your body being lifted up, torn through the rock itself, out of the mountain into the air. You felt the cold as you exited the mountain itself, looking around you, seeing the dragons that take dominion over the north fly around about you as you rose above them as well. You exited the clouds, and above it the sky, the atmosphere itself. Pulling apart, you saw the entirety of Sildona, as now that you look at it for what it is, looks nothing more than a floating continent in the middle of space, not round and spherical like the planets that you would have assumed are the only possible planets to exist, but this thing is impossible, and just as was described. But you pull further away, and you find yourself tumbling through space and time itself. You pass galaxies, you pass universes, you find yourself flying by a black metal ship, a spaceship massive and miles long, something that never existed even in your advanced time. You find yourself flying by your own original home planet, diving into black holes, emerging from new stars. You feel yourself being torn and thrown apart in millions of different ways, until finally, as if nothing had ever happened, you find yourself standing in a room. A dark room. Below you, there is a faint green glow. Observing it, you see what looks like an archaic symbol, something like an alchemical sign. It's incredibly intricate, and you have no idea what it means or what its purpose could be. But around you, you see small statues cascading off in all directions. You can move freely.
Well, interesting. I want to approach this strange symbol.
You're standing upon it.
Oh, I'm standing upon it.
Everything
Okay.
around you. It seems like there's just these statues that seem to be rising from different shapes. Some of them are on pedestals, some of them are massive statues. Some of them are broken, some of them are whole.
Is there any that are smaller and about my level?
Sure, sure.
I want to approach like a smaller statue. Go study it.
You approach a statue. And once you get closer to it, you realize it's not a statue at all, but it's moving. Hovering just a few inches above the pedestal, you see what looks like pure blackness that seems to be absorbing even the faint bit of light that exists in this space. And you see something sort of flicker out of the edge of the darkness. Once on one side, then another. Make a perception check to find out more.
Yeah, I kind of forgot if is that
Wisdom.
because I haven't made one in forever because I'm like the shittiest at seeing.
It's probably like a +1 for you.
It's a +3, but still.
17. They're tentacles.
Well, I've seen enough to know where this is going. I don't like this.
So, you see that there are hundreds of statues surrounding you. You think that this is probably the creepiest shit you've ever seen in your entire life. But then suddenly you hear...
Choose.
Is there any statue with no tentacles near it?
There are several statues that have no tentacles.
What's the next closest without tentacles?
Oh God, just roll me a D100, I guess. There's 100 statues in the room. I figured you might want to look for something particular. 75. There's one that looks like a humanoid figure, just standing on a small pedestal. Not even the full size of a person, like you, but like miniature, like a small statue.
God, I'm trying to think of something now. Like something to look for. Is there any that look like a firearm? Or somebody wielding a firearm?
Nowhere do you see anything that resembles technology or armaments of any sort. You see things that are shaped like plants. You see things that are shaped like octopuses. You see things that are shaped like monstrous creatures of all kinds. This place is a place of monsters, and a monster has beckoned you to choose.
Do I see anything that looks like a puppy, but a monster's puppy?
It's actually a good question. I don't know if there is one. Let me just scroll here for a second.
Is Roa's ghost cat shadow thing there?
No. There is not a single one that looks like a dog. What you do see, though, looking for animal-like creatures, is a toad. Very large, nasty-looking toad. Sitting... yeah, on a pedestal.
It's a match made in heaven.
I want to choose the toad.
You're gonna choose the toad?
Yes, because one of my ongoing jokes with somebody that I work with is that I am Privy Sage, the Toad Sage, so I'm going to choose the toad.
Erasenin!
Okay. So you get close to the toad, and you sort of look around like... And
I want to poke it.
You just poke it. And just go, yeah, that one. And you poke it. And as you poke it, you hear... And you wake up. The last thing you remember is a feeling as you wake up. Feeling as that toad opened its eyes, the fear, and then as it swallowed you, the pain. So you wake up after just getting eaten by a demon toad.
That's it. I'm swearing off alcohol. No.
God, if only.
Foon is sitting in the corner as you all sort of wake up one by one. And he's like, "You all look like shit. Did you have a good night?"
Pumpkin doesn't look like shit. She looks great.
No, Pumpkin looks the most like shit.
Comes out from her hiding spot, stretches, does cat things.
Coughs up a hairball.
Yeah. Bit of grooming. Just kind of giving Foon the side eye.
I'll just go up to Foon and be like, "So what now? You knocked us the fuck out."
Well, it's up to you, really. We gave you what it is you came here to see. If you would like to train with me, we can learn lots of things together.
I want to learn how to do the thing where you don't have to have the things on your arm.
Well, it's possible.
It's harder than it looks.
I'll let my
Well, maybe for you.
first disciple tell you how it works, eh?
Right.
So this is a time in which you guys, it's weird for Jat, but this is a time where you guys can experiment with anything you would like to experiment with. I will give you, you can use shit. Like,
so we've got like
burn
3 days.
stuff.
Well,
You guys got
is it
3
2 days now?
If you
Or
want to
maybe
do
it's 2
something,
days.
you
Yeah, it
can
might be 2
choose
days now.
to take care of working on some of your, you can choose to work on a subclass skill. In which case,
don't
if you
think I have
choose
any.
subclass skills, I'll let you work on 2 of them and level them up. If you want to work on, like, training your subclass, I will let you work and get your first level in Orchestral ability. If you want to work on anything else, then 1 skill can be upgraded. This is the amount of time you spend with Foon, you will learn.
I don't have any class skills, right?
No, you don't have any class skills.
Okay, so I'm going to work on a Kestrel skill.
Okay. What about
Torn.
the rest? I mean, so Owen's obviously, he's been working on his Kestrel skill. Locke,
Right.
make me a wisdom check.
Right.
I guess I'll work on mine too.
24. The Kestrels do not seem to respond to you super well. They
They keep trying.
they don't seem to respond to you much at all.
They're scared of me.
Ro, what about you?
Same.
Oh, Kestrel skill. Okay. Aramel?
I mean, I kind of want to try Kestrel skill, but after seeing my Kestrel, a while back, I don't know how well they'd respond to me.
They immediately attack you, carry you into the air, and drop you off of a mountain. Yeah.
You see that scene in Ghost where they pull the guy into hell?
That's probably what happened to me. But let's try it anyway.
All right, what is it? You're going to do the Kestrel ability?
Yeah.
So he's like, "Oh, they're all choosing Kestrel ability. How surprising. Nobody wants to work on the basics. They all want to jump straight into the new shit. You think that causing you immense pain and being rude to you when you first arrive would be a good way of confusing you and offsetting your desire for more power, but it's good to see that you're all just as selfish as I anticipated."
Never underestimate my selfishness.
Very well. First order of business. Owen, you know what you're doing. You've spoken to the Kestrels before. And as I told you, Aramel broke! Oh god!
Sorry. Mood was frozen on my screen. It was disconcerting. His just mild gaze.
Right. As I told you before,
I have no doubts that Foon can actually see the stream.
These abilities that you have are to be you channeled through your your class, your elite class. It is used your means by which you can cooperate with the world by your designation. Thus is the way that the world works currently. Breaking the binding simply allows you to channel it freely and communicate directly with the kestrels. So, as I told Owen, I told him to focus on an affinity that he is particularly fond of, one that he finds comes most naturally. And so, Owen, if you'll demonstrate, you have it now. So.
Yeah, I was looking through my show. I was like, is that what that thing is?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what am I? Is it just the +10 with it, or?
Yeah, you don't have to roll anything. It's on will. It doesn't cost
Okay.
MP either. It just says.
Gotcha.
Just happens.
I'm just going to. Is there any like support? I guess not supports, but like freestanding anything in the room? Shelves, chairs, anything?
There's his one recliner, and there's like a couple of pictures on the mantle next to the fire. There's a small stool, and
You'll get in so much trouble.
and a little table, and a little bitty table in the corner where he eats.
I'm gonna flick like a log out of the fire and use it on the log.
Okay. So you see as Owen pulls a log out of the fire, which of course just sort of shuffles his egg over to the side, which is rattling around in its shell. Sets the burning piece of wood on the ground. He has the claws, his weapons, onto his hands. And you see, just as he equips them, the once solid blades on the claw weapons seem to turn to liquid, molding freely, forming like mercury. They don't seem to have any set shape, length, or size. Attack the wood, I guess.
Is this? I'm not doing anything
Oddly enough,
fancy. I'm
that's
just
what he
gonna.
does in his spare time too, is attack the wood.
So I guess it'd just be the
God.
Phoenix talent. So probably about an 85.
Oh yeah, well
It's a piece of wood.
Are you sure that that's accurate to your?
No, there's probably more stuff, but that's just attack with the Phoenix Talons, like not putting in dexterity and everything else. So it'd be higher.
Yeah, right. So gotcha. But so he cuts it, and you see that as he moves with the claws, he passes. It looks like he passes straight through the log. And you see where the log splinters and cuts, but the pieces themselves, you see pieces of metal dripping out of them. They drip for a moment, and then you see the flames of the phoenix whipping up from inside of them. And then the metal pulls itself back out through into the air and rejoins the rest of the claw. No, see? You figured that out pretty quick. He's got a whooshy blade. That's what we're going to call it, is whooshy blade.
I mean, it's accurate description, but that sounds kind of wimpy.
Well, you look kind of wimpy, so.
Have you looked at Aramil?
Locke's gonna turn to Pumpkin and be like, "Hey, Pumpkin, give me a hand here," and I'm gonna have her use Inspire on me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to focus on my blood affinity and try again.
Okay.
So what's the bonus with level 3 Inspire?
Bonus with level 3 Inspire?
Yeah, what's that?
20? Plus 20?
Okay, cool.
It's a 41.
Does a 41 help me speak to the kestrels?
You start to hear whispers.
Whispers.
Like,
Can I
as
make
you
out anything they're saying?
say hello, hello, you hear. None of it's discernible to you.
You're gonna have to speak up there.
It's less about understanding them than just communicating with them. It's not a verbal thing. But you don't know that, so you're just gonna keep trying to listen to them say things, I guess.
I'm be like, I'll need some help trying to do some fancy blood tricks.
Well, it'll take time to go in what? 2 hours, right?
Something like that. Everybody else was asleep.
It did. It took them some time, though.
I'm gonna be like, pumpkin again, and I'm just gonna do it again.
Oh. They sort of, they see, like, the energy pass from her to you, and the kestrels themselves, you hear them whispering for a second, and then it becomes more quiet. And then Pumpkin's like, I hear whispers?
Alright, that's enough, Pumpkin. If you're gonna steal the show, then you can't play. And I'll just, like, shoo her away.
That's what you get for cheating.
Well,
Anyway, I'll just grumble there and, like, keep focusing, trying to do my thing.
Gotcha.
So how, and I don't get, what am I supposed to be doing?
You focus on an affinity that works particular with you. If you try to communicate with the kestrels, use your imagination, you can potentially unlock a capability with your powers, with your abilities that matches your. I'm hungry. Can we get breakfast?
Where do they serve it here? Do we have to just go like?
You're my
You've got a garden
servants now.
outside.
You're my students, and therefore you make me breakfast. That's a pretty fair deal, I say.
Ro is ignoring him. She's just sitting there, like, trying to concentrate on darkness.
We can eat her. She's
The last
insubordinate.
The last time anyone tried to touch anything in your garden, you kind of laid them out. So, I mean, are we allowed to touch?
Drug garden. That's how I make money.
Do you have do you have a garden that's for food?
No. We only have so much sunlight down here. Resources for growing are quite astronomical if you think about it. The fact that I took the time to grow drugs here is just a mark of my tenacity.
I will
Locke's just
wander
gonna
out
kinda-
the door.
I'm just gonna go to the town and like, Locke's gonna go look for an enchanter on his way to town and like go and try and find some food for breakfast.
Okay. Sure. Just roll me a D100 on the 59. You do find an enchanter on the property where the school is. You find a room that's teaching an enchanting class. You sort of peek your head in and you see them. There's a sword, and then suddenly the sword's glowing with fire. And so you're like, oh, that's probably the right place to go. And so you sit in for a few minutes. You catch what they're saying. You hear descriptions of how enchanting works, imbuing with power, the direct applications. All of it's a little bit confusing. Make me an intelligence check to see if you understand exactly what's being said. A little bit of it is over your head. In fact, a lot of it is. But from what you can make out from it, the important bits is that it is simple enough to directly apply for a talented and a practiced enchanter any skill stone to a weapon. Assuming that they know what they're doing, the rest of the resources are simple.
But he's not interested in that. Locke's more interested in how do I get this core onto my weapon.
Well, that's literally the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna go try and find someone who knows what they're doing and find breakfast.
Okay. If you leave the little class there, to look for somebody else to deal with your chat.
No, I'm gonna ask them. I'll be like, hey, this is great and all, but I don't have time to learn this shit. So you know anybody who might be able to do that for me?
Kid in the corner says, "You don't even go here."
Be like, I'll have you know I study under the great Master Foon.
You say that out loud? The guy at the front of the room, the teacher's just like, leave.
So I'll just leave.
Leave my class now. Thank you. You hear people just whispering, the murmurs and just like spreading throughout the room.
Anyway, I'm gonna try and find somebody. I'm gonna ask around.
Yeah. With
Like
with
diplomacy check.
your 59 or whatever, you're not gonna find anybody that does enchanting in this sector or the Prisma market. That is
Yeah, I
gonna-
know we couldn't find anybody in the Prisma market.
That's going to
I
be
thought they had
capable of doing that. Yeah, well, the Academy is where the Sapphire District, where they do enchanting. And you just walked in and said, I'm Foon student, I'll have you know. They're just like,
Well,
get the fuck out.
I'll come back, but I'm gonna go get some breakfast.
Okay, so you head off to find breakfast. Simple enough. What quality of breakfast would you like to acquire?
I don't know, something for a couple something. I mean, I'm not gonna pay more than like a gold for it.
So you're like, give me what I'll eat. What'll
I mean,
feed
I'm
people.
sure one gold is probably a pretty good meal.
It's a pretty good meal for everybody, yeah. You want
Yeah,
to grab food for the whole group. It's not going to be like anything fancy, but
Right.
it's food, and it's good, hearty, well cooked. So yeah, just take a gold
And I'll
off the
just-
sheet and you can...
And I'm just gonna keep trying to talk to the Kestrels. It'll just seem like I'm mumbling to myself as I'm walking back to.
Alright, so that's what Locke's doing. He's just mumbling to himself, trying to reach the Kestrels. Rowan and Aramil. You guys are just sort of sitting there.
Roa's trying to think about darkness.
Alright, roll a wisdom check.
Can I use Amir's wisdom stat first?
Sure.
I love how that's not cheating. Or maybe it is. We'll see. Amira gets to unbound from the Kestrels and or whatever.
Every time I have to read. It leveled up, so that's pretty fun. So it's 2d10.
Yeah.
Is it 2d10 or just 2? Okay, yeah. 8.
So 8 times your current wisdom stat
Hell yeah.
for... Guys, this
Whoop.
game was terrible. I don't know who designed it.
You become a Kestrel.
So my bonus is now 150. Where'd it go? Hang on, I lost it.
If you guys were wondering
For
why Locke's stats make
D10
no
rounds.
sense, the reason...
For 10 minutes.
For 10 minutes! Okay. Also, babe, do we have a giveaway going for the thing? Because we might as well start it now.
I was gonna. Okay, I mean, you
Get
can do
people a
that.
chance to get in.
We'll be giving away Tales of the Borderlands. Steam Key.
Yeah, he quite literally hacked his stats. There was a gem.
Did.
The gem of order takes your highest stat and
I'm ballin'.
makes the rest of your stats the same number. Because it's order.
Okay, so my wisdom check is 169 on a 3.
With a 3, you roll 169. Okay.
So she's just like sitting there concentrating, kind of purring a bit. Maybe there's a little bit of a sunbeam from the drug garden. And she kind of starts to glow a bit with the wisdom of Amira.
Okay. The second that this hits you, you're like, Kestrels, how have I not noticed you before? And you're like, hey guys, and they're like, hi Ro, how you doing today?
Just like, wow, there's so many of you and you're all over the place.
Let's be best friends. Let's make magic together.
Okay. What do I do?
Of course, this you will later realize is because of the fumes of the sunbeam hitting the drugs in the garden, giving off faint amount of opiate that has flooded your mind. Speaking to the Kestrels, you are convinced that they are cartoon characters that will just give you anything you want at any time. With your wisdom stat, you're so greatly attuned to them that this is made possible. They come into a shape that you truly appreciate. So whatever
Cool.
that is. What kind of cartoon shape are these things appearing for you?
Other cats.
Other cats. They're like, "Hi, Roa. You want to learn how to manipulate magic? All right."
Okay. Great.
What? You were supposed to be enjoying it.
Oh no, I am.
You're like, oh, great. All right, this is easy enough. Okay. Pick a stat,
Pick a stat.
or pick a thing in general about a character
Uh,
that you're like, you know what? People keep having this, and I don't like it.
Evasion. I don't like it when people evade me.
You're just mad at that, right?
Or, well, which is the one that keeps screwing me? Is it defense or evasion? Because when I hit things, but they don't
You
actually
always
get
hit.
hurt.
You always hit, but they never take damage.
Yeah. Is it, or is it just both combined? It doesn't matter. I hate it when people evade me.
Okay, you hate it when people evade you. Okay. So, simply enough, you talk to the Kestrels. It's a really annoying conversation. We're just gonna go ahead and skip it. Where you learn.
Oh, why would you want to skip that?
Why would you want to skip learning how to curse people in dark and deadly ways? Anyways, so you learn simply to curse people. You learn a new curse.
Okay.
I'll put it on your sheet later, but just put Curse of the Sloth.
Okay.
Today I learned Mickey Mouse is a kestrel. Aramil, how are you dealing with your kestrel stuff?
So I'm curious. Does it explicitly have to be one of the base?
No, it doesn't have to be a base affinity. It could be.
So it can be like a combo affinity.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm gonna obviously be focusing, on Hellfire since that's my favorite.
Make a wisdom save. Wisdom check.
Oh boy.
A wisdom saving throw.
Oh boy.
5. You hear nothing except for the echoes in the cave. You think you might actually hear Roa's kestrels yelling from outside the cave. But you don't hear anything yourself. Nothing is communicating with you.
They're all scared
you
of
get
him.
this weird sense though that your adventurer card is trying to tear itself in half.
I want to pull out my adventure card and look at it.
Just go look at Aaron and be like, oh, that's gonna take a while. I'm gonna go scoop up the egg and start heading for the door.
Okay. So you head for the door. So you guys, I guess Roa, yours is easy enough. Curse of the Sloth, done. Locke, make me another roll. I need each of you to make me 2 rolls. And if you beat the threshold, then you got it.
I'm gonna re-roll the 1.
27?
Still not much better.
Okay, Aramil?
Yeah, I gotta learn how to type properly.
I'd like to point out that I can't do this with the highest base wisdom in the group. I can't.
That is so much better than what you were trying to do before. But Aramil, in the 3 days, you do not succeed. Because unfortunately, your total needed to be 50. And yours was 32. So, natural 20 would have done it, though. Yeah. You'll have to learn more.
Me rolling a natural 20, yeah, the world would end before then.
Yes. So you don't have that unlocked for you yet. Locke, on the other hand, how would you like blood to be manipulated freely? Like, what is the particular way in which you want to move blood? You're a jack of all trades, so...
That's true. Well, I've already got blood armor, and I've got a blood weapon, and I've got blood bullets. Or did you ever give me my blood armor?
Yeah, I give you blood armor.
Oh, that's right, you did. I can't remember. I just, haven't used it yet. Hold on. Let me think. Let me think.
All right, I'll let you think on that. But while you're walking and you bringing breakfast back, you do hear the whispers. They seem to become more clear, and you find yourself guided towards this feeling that you can create magic just by communicating your will, and it starts to try to channel through what you're doing. But whatever it is, it's gonna be geared neither towards defense or offense. It's because you're Jack. It's gonna kind of be like a passive sort of thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So, in the 3 days, Locke, after hearing the kestrels for the first time, tends to make trips back and forth from the town, looking for somebody to enchant his whip, and speaking with the kestrels the only time they'll seem to talk to him when he's heading back into the cave with food in his arms. Aramil keeps trying and trying and trying and just yelling at the poor kestrel he knows is inside of his adventurer card, but to little to no success. Roa has been repeatedly stabbing things in midair and making them slow down to like a crawl. Owen, you have become quite adept. Go ahead and make me a couple wisdom rolls to see if you can actually increase your communication with kestrels.
Let's see. So plus just wisdom rolls.
Just wisdom.
Alright, so 1. How many rolls do you want?
2.
28 and 29.
You don't level it up yet, but you're definitely getting a feel for it. Like, you're getting an idea about it. But with your 2 days, that is what you, or your 3 days, that's what you guys accomplished. You find yourselves growing pretty accustomed to living here in a cave with Foon. He's an interesting guy. He's weird. He's eccentric. He's a little pervy. But only in like a weird sense. Like, you think like the succubus sitting there so far would be of interest to him, but so far he hasn't given her the time of day. He kind of treats her like a dog.
Oh, I kind of treat her like a dog, but she's a sexy dog.
He hasn't even given her more than a glance. She doesn't seem to be worth his time at all.
I think I would like, actually for my skill, some manner of being able to like control the blood in somebody else. Not like in a like, I want to whatever, but like
In a
to either
sense.
sort of like a blood binding kind of thing where I can just like control their motor functions to some extent. That'd be kind of cool. Like a crowd control kind of thing rather than like combat oriented.
Yeah. Okay.
You can pull it over.
Yeah, no. I'll give you sort of like a blinding effect. So like
Okay.
you can, because I don't want you to be able to control their entire body with what you have so
Oh
far.
no, that yeah.
But maybe you can like rush the blood to their eyes, causing it to to give them temporary blindness. You just constrict the blood vessels in their eyes, and so it lowers the ATK.
Can I like? Okay, yeah, no, that works. Yeah.
I figure that's pretty useful. So just blood blinding, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, my other thought would have been like the same thing, but only like with like their legs or something to like immobilize them or something.
Like actual bind.
Right, like more like a bind, but.
That's advanced. You're at level
Yeah.
1 for just free blood manipulation. So
And eventually, just pulling all the blood from their heart would be really no.
just walk in and the blood just pours right out of them, out of their nose, ears. Okay, well, so on your last day, Food looks at the rest of you and he says, "You've all basically learned nothing, which is good, I guess."
I curse him. Curse him the slap.
You curse him. The second you run on with your dagger to curse him, dart goes straight in your neck. You fall to the ground. Unconscious. It's like, oh, she's so stupid. It's kind of fun.
But she is very wise.
No, not really. She's been stealing wisdom from Amira, which one day is gonna blow up in everybody's faces.
I mean, a lot of the stuff we do kind of blows up in everyone's faces.
Frankly, it's fine to me. Amira's kind of a bitch.
She seemed alright. I mean, she
was alright, sure, and
she wasn't particularly friendly.
Tainted by the rest of them, kind of became a snooty little prom queen.
You're very opinionated on the current gods, aren't you?
I feel like anybody who doesn't question their government is just stupid.
I mean, we're gonna kill them anyway, right? I mean, that's kind of the whole plan, is what I'm gathering. So
if that's what you want to do, I already told you last time. It's whatever you want to do. You know, you can kill them, you can be friends with them, you can jerk them off whenever you want. It's fine.
I mean, I think they're probably not long for this world.
Pretty good idea to not walk around saying out loud, "Hey, you know, it's gonna be fun. Let's go kill the gods," because they're fucking gods. You know.
I mean, he says a lot of things he shouldn't say out loud.
Pretty good chance that they can hear you if you're saying it too loud. Especially since they do speak directly to Kestrels. You're trying to communicate with Kestrels. They pick up on that like, holy shit. And they're like, hey, what does Locke think of me? And the Kestrels are like, he says he wants to kill you.
I'm not saying I want to. I'm just saying that's probably what's going to happen.
Okay. I'm going to go get really fucked up. It was great training you. If you don't destroy the city in the next couple days, because I've heard you whispering, I'm not deaf, even though I'm old.
I literally told him the city was going to be destroyed.
Well, I'm saying if you don't destroy the city yourself.
Oh.
Because I've heard your plan. You're going to rescue a bunch of dumbass animals and look for a girl who's in the fucking castle.
Yes.
Right, that's actually where we're headed now. So,
So if that all goes well and you don't destroy everything, or goes poorly and you don't destroy everything, which is more likely, well, more likely it will go poorly and you'll destroy everything.
That's what happens.
Come back, hang out, we'll learn a little bit more. On the other hand, there's a pretty good chance I won't be here because I'm anticipating said destruction. I think I'm going to go south.
You don't want to help stop said destruction?
Oh God, no! I care. I literally could not care less.
Right.
Am I still unconscious?
But I'm going to enact an immortality principle on my garden, so if you'll excuse me. He just gets up slowly and sort of waddles his way with his little switch stick.
I'm just going to walk over to Ro and like tap her face like, Hey, wake up.
Does it work? Am I awake?
I'm gonna go back to the Prisma district and I'm gonna find what's her face some clothes. Find myself some clothes for the party. Yeah.
Yeah. It's fair to say that you guys probably would have sought clothes out by now. So the question is, how nice would you like your clothing to be?
I mean, we're going to the castle.
Yeah, so how much do you want to spend on your outfits? And if you're spending quite a bit, is there anything special you want there to be about them? Because there is a tailor. And so you could technically get combat-oriented cloth items.
Let me make some rolls, because for just this eventuality, I would need some extra currency. So I'm going to try and do some copying.
Okay.
I guess wherever this tailor is, like, I'm just be like 2 platinum.
2 platinum? Holy shit! How much gold is that again? Like 200?
Yeah.
Well, we've At one point you said it was 100, and then at another point you said it was 1,000. So I don't know
It's
what the
100.
exchange
It's
rate is
100. It's
anymore.
not 1,000.
I think we're going with 100 now.
Yeah, it's 100. What the heck happened to the, What the heck happened to that person? Where's the tailor?
They dead?
No, maybe there's not a tailor who does, Oh, it's because they're not in the district, the Prisma district, the Prisma market.
So I managed to copy an extra 3 platinum.
You can get nice clothes. You just can't get enchanted nice clothes. So, so you still want to spend 2 platinum on nice clothes?
Yes, because I'm going to ask them to make it fit over the top of my stuff that I'm currently wearing.
Okay. For that, you can get it. They have like really, really gaudy, like military palder looking, like tassels falling off the side. Nice white suit. Pretty fancy.
So the whole idea is to just, even if it's not combat oriented, it just fits over the top and I can wear my normal stuff underneath without it being, obvious with the flames and everything.
Okay.
I would like to do the same thing.
And I made an extra 3 platinum with copies, so I'll spend that and try and get a nice outfit for me and a nice outfit for Pumpkin that covers up her wings and fits her tail nicely.
Between that, easy enough to do. What color would you like your outfits to be?
Me and Pumpkin are black and red, absolutely.
So
Black for Roa.
So Roa, you get a. Do you want like a pantsuit or do you want a dress?
Roa wants a dress. She's never worn a dress before.
Okay. So Roa gets a dress that is. How much did you spend on it?
I'm gonna say just 1 platinum.
1 platinum. You get a low-cut black dress that seems to be moving in its own way. The dress that you have picked seems to reflect light in such a weird way that it almost looks like it's alive.
Weird.
Yeah.
I love it. Sure.
But yeah, it's just like a low cut back. So like most of your spine is showing.
Well, I still wanted to like have my stuff like underneath the dress. I was picturing something like really poofy, so there would be places to hide things.
That sounds terrible.
Well, we don't know what we're going into. I want to be able to fight.
You
and,
do remember that you have a
myself.
universal storage container.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I just didn't want us to all be like diving into the pocket to get, our stuff.
Well, yeah, and it takes time to like.
You
put
guys
your stuff
can't
back on.
actually walk into the castle with weapons on, anyways. So.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's
yeah.
fine. I'll keep anything that I can't hide under the dress in my.
So you can have your ring on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Can I have my little jewelry claw?
Okay.
Yeah, you can have your
Point of
finger
question.
claw. Yeah.
Is the pocket big enough that we're putting like all our weapons in there? Or are we we're staying at this mode
Well, that
in,
depends
and
on
that's
how much
okay.
space she has in her.
Well,
storage.
it got upgraded, right? So I have a lot of space now.
Yeah, Thanos Bane is going in there for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's the only weapon I have. Well, Thanos Bane in my
Airmail,
door
how much are you
conflict.
spending on your outfit?
1 platinum, and I want it to be a nice, fancy orange.
Oh. Wow.
Fancy
that goes
So
over.
we look pretty normal. And
I want it to go
You insist
over.
on orange over and over again, and finally they give you a Firestone uniform that has been retrofitted into a nice suit. So you kind of look like a military officer of the Cold Stone Undercity.
And I'm gonna wear it over my mithril wizard set, so it's orange and blue, colors poking through.
Oh, it's so terrible. It makes me want to vomit. It's such horrible color choices. Oh.
I can't help it. I used to do orange and blue for my Spartan armor in Halo.
Oh, yeah, me too. It worked in Halo. So yeah, Locke, you and Pumpkin. Pumpkin has like a nice, elegant dress that covers her pretty nicely. Seems to make her look more shy and coy than revealing. And you are wearing a very fine black suit with red trim on the inside. So every time your coat flares up, the underside is red, making you look, for the first time, very, very much like your true, typical vampire.
That's right. Watch out.
Can we store stuff in the mage's place?
Yes, you do have a room in the Mage's Tower.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do.
I have 200 squares free in my storage.
You have 200 squares.
Mhm.
Guys, she
'Cause
should
it just,
probably
like-
carry just about everything you have.
Yeah.
Because most
Yeah,
of
yeah,
your stuff is
I'm
only
gonna
a
give
1x2.
The only thing I'm keeping
Armor,
on
the
me.
other hand, is a 2x3.
I think I can probably fit like all of our armor.
Yeah, you can take my armor and my 2 whips. I think the only like item I'm gonna keep on me like for real is my mask, my demon mask, because nobody's gonna look twice at that.
Yeah. Okay, so you've got your mask and then your finger ring.
Yeah, my finger ring. Yeah.
For time saving, I'll just dump in all my weapons except for the Mirage Blade, which is just
Oh.
the flowy thing.
Nice.
It doesn't look like a
Yeah,
weapon.
nobody's gonna know what the hell that is.
Exactly.
Ermo?
I'm gonna put my my Amira's long neck in there.
Okay, so that's gonna be 4x1.
Okay.
Okay. You guys get yourself all nice, fancied up, dressed up. You look good. You look damn good. Your badges, on the other hand, still have blue and the Prisma color marking them. And,
Let's be honest.
and red.
I look the best.
And you see
Flock
that
a look
there
around.
are quite the number of people sort of shifting through the Prisma market. A lot of them seeming to wear colors that match the sector that they are from. You see some matching Aramil's bright orange clothing. You see some wearing deep, deep blackish green cloaks. You see some wearing these crystal blue colors. A lot of them wearing adornments, jewels, gems. My God, the jewelry on these people, it is incredible. You've never seen a diamond the size of a person's fist just hanging on the edge of a necklace, dangling on a piece of stringed metal that seems so thin it couldn't possibly support the weight. You've never seen people with headdresses stacked taller than their own bodies because they're fucking dwarves.
I'm gonna try and make a copy of one of the really fancy pieces of jewelry and try and give it to Pumpkin.
Okay. This
I'm gonna make
this
sure
would
that,
be like a very intricate one. So
She gets a rock. That's 11's not. I mean, technically that's a 21, but like that's still nothing.
all right.
Seeing all this, I'm gonna make sure like my amulet and stuff's like just tucked in, hidden, everything except for like the one ring that I have on.
Okay. So you all start making your way down towards where everybody else seems to going, which is the familiar pathway that you had gone to see the automaton, who then let you drive through the Alabaster District. To
I
the
am gonna mark a
respective-
random door though, by the way, too, just so we state that.
Where?
Just like one of the shops in the Prisma Market.
In the Prism Market?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Which sector of the Prism Market? Northeast, southwest?
Oh, whatever's closest to the Sapphire District, I guess.
Okay. So that's going to be the east. Alright. Easy enough. You mark a door when you guys are passing. You find yourself going down the same pathway in the Alabaster District that led to the diplomats that you had recently sought help from. Both Hunter and, oh shit, it's been like 4 or 5 weeks since I looked at that chick's name. The Catwoman that Roa fell in love with.
Natalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Natalia, what's her last name?
Minx.
Natalia Minx. Well
There we
done.
go.
Guys, this is why I'm...
Crowdsourced it.
I have it on a notepad by my desk.
Nice.
I started writing shit
Natalia
down.
Minx, both of whom you assume would be at this party as well. As you start to make your way down the path, there doesn't seem to be an automaton, a Magitech creature, guardian, standing in front, stopping anybody from entry, but rather it seems that the entire way is lined with what look like more of these automatons than you've ever seen. More than you thought existed down here, since they seem so few and far between. You see them at every door, at every alleyway, lining every few feet along the edge leading up towards the castle. It seems that anybody may take the path, should they choose. And you see children covered in dirt and slime, ones that seem to have come from the Iron Districts, no badges at all, running around, frolicking, trying to touch and play with the rich and the refined. Nobody seems to care. It seems like whatever spectacle this is, it's meant to be enjoyed by all. And yet, you see lots of people walking back, as if they hadn't really headed that way at all. So, as you progress, you do see that there are some stalls on your way. Seem to have been inserted into the area. Food stalls, like a secondary Prisma market set up on the entrance. And there seems to be a small fair. That most of the refined people are just passing straight through, but the children and the less rich, less fancy, seem to be staying and enjoying themselves as it opens up the area. And then, though you've seen it before at a distance, you do see finally the cold stone castle. The pillar itself rising nearly to the ceiling of the caves in which you've been dwelling for all this time. Many rings branching out from the center of it, this massive castle. It seems to be made out of some material much different than the white that surrounds it. It gives off a chill. It's as if ice and stone had become one. Seems incredibly strong and yet crystalline. You approach the front, and you see an automaton waiting. Names.
Is there like a line of people, or is it just us?
Well, there's a line, but I assume you guys just wait in line.
Mm-hmm.
So skipping
We
that,
follow all the rich people.
you get there. You look adequate among the rest of these people. So he says, name.
Owen, father of magic and associates.
Oh, were we not going with Seeds of Chaos then?
Oh,
It nods. And then you sort of get, like, scanned, kind of. Like, you can see, like, it's, like, the light behind its eyes sort of just goes up and down on you. Doesn't, like, send any lasers out or anything, but you can tell it's looking you up and down, and then sort of nods to you. It's not barring the way.
I'm just gonna do like that kind of cautious step forward, like kind of looking at it as I start walking forward.
Walk right past.
Then I'm gonna confidently just be like the haha, and just
It does
continue on in.
It does scan each of you as you walk by. You can feel this thing looking at you. The magic behind its lens just scanning you up and down. It scans Aramil about half a dozen times. It's just completely confused. Like, you can tell, like,
What the hell is
its
he?
receptors are like overloading. It has no idea how to register what it's seeing right now. Orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, blue. No, I'm just kidding. You can tell it's like, huh? As you guys start to enter into the Cold Stone Castle itself, we will go ahead and take our break. You guys enter this icy castle. It almost looks like a fortress, just how enormous it is. And as you get past the courtyards that seem actually very similar to Foon's garden, as you pass by, just little bits of sunlight hitting just the grass that seems to be between giant icy pillars. It's kind of disorienting. Schneider, did you
I thought
just
you meant that there were
follow?
drugs.
Sorry. It's sort of disoriented just seeing the grass mixed in with just this ice cold stone. When you finally follow the lantern's trail and you make your way up into the main ballroom where it seems that everybody is joining with one another, you find yourselves in a very finely decorated cold stone ballroom with an icy looking chandelier. You see tables lined with foods you haven't even seen or heard of. Among them, on the table, catches your eye. You see a cockatrice. One that had existed and you had noticed in the zoo, quote unquote. Basically what it was a zoo. Stuffed, cooked, the feathers decorating the area around it, as well as other slaughtered beasts.
Great.
Such a terrible thing. Oh no.
But there's punch, there's drinks, there's people. You guys see Thomas Oak is talking to some finely dressed ladies.
We're gonna avoid him.
Varying races, heights, and
I'm gonna
sizes.
walk right up to him.
Yeah, let's go see that guy.
Hey.
Walk up to Thomas. He's like,
No, I mean I'm just gonna like walk by and just be like, "Good evening, enjoy your evening." You know, like no like real interruption.
"You remembered to come here. I was hoping
How
you
could I
were
forget?
drunk, but I held up my end of the bargain." What's
What are you talking about? We've never seen you before in our lives.
I like your spirit. That's great. I like that. That's great. I'm gonna prepare myself for the banquet. Good luck to all of you, by the way.
Why do we need luck? Is there something wrong with the food?
I think he's implying that we don't really fit in.
No, I mean, I guess you guys. I assumed you hadn't been to the banquet before, but I also assumed you knew what it was.
No. I mean, do we need luck?
No, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to. You can just be like some of these other people. You notice that around the edges there are people sort of like taking seats just around the edge of the room. There are no musicians in the entire hall. No music.
Right. Well, if you could like tell us what's gonna happen, that'd be helpful.
I mean, they'll explain when they come out. King Thorn's not a quiet person.
Just kind of like put my hand aside. Is there killing involved?
If that's how you want to do it, sure.
Well,
Maybe this is my kind of banquet after all.
I just want to take a deep whiff, you know, and see if I pick up a familiar scent.
A familiar scent.
A lovely familiar scent that I tried to follow last time. She was with what's his
There's
face, the
definitely
High
a
Arbiter.
familiar scent around. You don't sense what direction it's in currently.
While this is going on, I pull Aramel aside and I'm like, "Is she still in the tower? Do you know where she is?"
Yes.
I focus on
still
it.
in the tower.
I'll look around
she's
for.
in the, I whisper back. Yeah, she's in the tower still.
I'll look around for like a closet or like like some kind of like meaningless door.
Okay. You go and you look for a meaningless door. Make me a perception check.
Yeah.
Most of the people are just sort of chatting and having a good time. Again, like I said, no music, no entertainment seems to be displayed whatsoever.
That's not an invitation, Aramel.
You do see a closet, or not a closet, but a door that doesn't seem to necessarily lead to anywhere. Sort of off to the side, away from the main archways that lead to different parts of the building.
Right. I'm just gonna walk by and just kind of like place my hand on it and mark it with a whatever.
Okay. Easily enough, you mark the gate, and you've connected from here to Nora, the East District, right?
Yeah, like in the Prisma Market near the Sapphire District.
Okay, so you have a door there, and then you have a door at Roast Beasts Eats.
And I have a door, of course, in the Hellfire Volcano thing.
Oh, well, of course you've got the Hellfire Volcano in case you
Where
wanna
the
go in
bodies
there.
are just burnt to nothing.
There's nothing left of those. So you all stand there in your fancy garb. It seems that Locke disagreed for a moment, but he quickly returned to you.
Rose kind of impatiently just kind of like looking around and just,
People
Is there
are
any
looking
reason-
at each other like crazy. Like they're observing one another. You see that there are people that have instruments of different kinds. People with large suitcases. There are a couple of people who are just like reading off of note cards. You're not sure what's going on here, but it's the strangest banquet you could have ever imagined. But Rower, to you, this must be the most beautiful, like amazing place you've ever seen in your entire life.
well, it's still kind of giving me the creeps. So, Rose just like, is there any reason that we're not like currently just I mean, I can just shadow walk up to the tower or something. Like, I mean, I don't, I just, are we, what are we gonna do, guys?
I want to steal the closest note card.
I mean, I think this is probably a bad time to be thinking about sneaking off. We should probably wait for whatever's about to get started, because that might be a little bit more of a distraction.
I don't know, people seem pretty intent on preparing for whatever it is.
63.
Mhm.
This nervous-looking guy is just going through his note cards and then gone. And he's just like keeps reading, and you see him mouthing under his breath something. He's just like, you see, he sort of starts to panic. It's like he's going through his cards really fast. He's like,
I just kind of walk away, and I just want to read what it, get a gist of what it is.
it says, "Feast your eyes and behold the might, the power." Cuts off.
These are really small note cards.
I'm gonna be like, it might be a fight,
It's in big letters.
or it might just be a really good speech. I'm not sure which.
I'm gonna casually just kind of point to be like, hey guys, mark that door over there. Just a heads up if we need it.
Okay, so you're all sitting there waiting patiently. A couple minutes pass by as what seems like the rest of the procession enters this very massive ballroom. And then the large doors at that entrance finally close. And you hear everybody gets really quiet. A lot of people sit around the outside edge, and then you notice that there's a balcony up above, almost maybe like 5-10 feet lower than the chandelier, along the top area of the ballroom, where you see more people sort of come out of the shadows looking down below. And then you just hear the sounds, just sounds of heels, wood-clad boots possibly, clicking, clacking down the hall. Deeper into the ballroom at the end, where the large staircases rise up and turn. And you hear the noise as a tall, white-robed man descends the stairs. Oh, and you recognize him right away, like immediately. God, my fucking words aren't working right now. Right a hootsa whatsa.
Once away.
You immediately
Just,
know who he is.
Just quietly be like, those are the ones I ran into in the market that gave us the lead to get the silver, the sapphire stones. Just kind of fill them in.
So, you immediately recognize as Elio Tulin, the High Advisor, the main man, the guy who talks to the king himself, starts descending the steps and walks down the middle. You see people sort of push further to the sides. A couple people sort of stiffen up. Others prepare, stand bold. As he makes his way into the space, he looks around. Welcome, all of you, to another banquet. As you all know, this is a celebration. Celebration of King Thorn changing the way the Coldstone Undercity communicates with the other races. How we all work and strive together now. How the wars finally ended after the great calamities. It is a celebration, and of course, as you know, it is a time to impress your value upon the king himself. There is no other time throughout the year in which you may do this. Be warned. Though anything's allowed, for some reason, under the purview of the king, and you sort of hear, just, you know, with this sort of sly chuckle he gives off, everybody, there are like small chuckles around the room, some from high above, others from the edges. Ladies and gentlemen, your king, the Lord of Coldstone Undercity, Thorn Icespire. There's clapping, a few hollers, hoots, applause. And then you hear heavy, not the you heard before as Elio came down, but as Thorin descends the steps, you hear the crash of each step, as if a mammoth is making his way down.
How big is this guy?
But as he continues to move down, the heavy steps, the creaking of the cold stone against the weight of his boot, you see as he turns down the steps, an average height, a dwarf, completely small, but burly. His skin ice cold, and you can see almost what looks like fire rising from his head, as you had seen the Azur before, the head of the Aether Master's Order. But instead, this fire doesn't seem to move. This ice rises from his head. Surrounding it is a crown. And he looks around the room at everyone. There's a moment of just stillness, silence. And he looks around. Right then, you all gonna fucking entertain me then? Which one of you thinks you're man enough, woman enough, whatever enough to marry my sister? And everybody explodes in cheering. He walks his way down. He sits on a step, and he gestures to the side. And Elio comes out with a woman, her head veiled. And you see her long golden hair, sort of glowing, cascading, fall down from below her. She's taller than Thorin is, probably just a little under 5 feet tall, wearing a fine dress. Right then, as with every other time, if one of you fucks can actually impress me with something, I'll consider you. Let it begin. Let's have some fun. And so it begins. What would you guys like to do?
Ro is just gonna kind of like, his sister's not the woman from the bar, is it? Like, was she blonde? I don't remember.
I don't
We
know,
don't
but I'm
know.
a
She was
status.
fully covered.
Wear a helmet.
I'm a status checker.
Aramel, think about the woman from the bar. See if you can find her.
What level are you, Locke? Or what's your level
15.
for your status?
Its status is level 2.
So 10 levels above you?
Yeah, I think.
You can't status her.
Okay. Figured I'd check.
Do we have? Is anyone like immediately stepping up and trying to do anything?
Currently, you do see a couple of people sort of starting to prepare it. It seems like they're talking to Elio. It seems to be like he's the organizer. And so there's like they're kind of lining up talking. And you see the woman sitting there completely calm and patient. And Thorn sort of just gives her a nice look, pats her on the shoulder. And you see Thomas Oak lining up on the side as well.
I'm gonna go
Thomas.
stand in. Yeah, I'm gonna go over there to stand in line.
Yeah. Why not?
But.
A man walks
What?
by you and says, as you're sitting there sort of in the middle, like not knowing what you're doing, "Well, you're not going to go. It's your one chance to talk to the king all year round. Nobody ever actually successfully. I mean, this has been going on for years. He's never found anybody who's actually impressed him, but this is your chance to speak to the king. doesn't take audiences with his subjects. Why do you think we're all here?
What are you going to speak to him about?
I want to get a grant for my research.
Hmm.
If you win, you don't just ask for the princess's hand. Nobody was really all that interested. But if you impress him enough, he might give you something else.
Hmm. Eh.
But there's house suitors every year. Like that one, for instance. He pokes over at Thomas. He's like, he's been trying since it started.
Oh, yeah.
Got a bit of
Oh,
a
yeah,
soft spot. Huh?
I think I'm definitely gonna go try and kill Thomas. I'm on.
Um, what's Aramel doing?
The Aramel never says what he's doing.
Sipping my tea.
So Aramel's just sitting in the corner, eating, sipping some tea.
So Owen and Locke are in line, right?
Oh, I'm in line sipping tea.
Oh, you're also in line. I think I'm gonna let them cover it for me. I'm just gonna watch. So I'm gonna like fade off to some dark corner of the room and just kind of wait a minute or two for things to kind of get started.
All right.
And I'm gonna ask the nearest person, be like, so they allow weapons in this?
I mean, it's really just about how exactly it is you want to impress him. If it's a show of strength, maybe you could, like, I don't know, swing a sword around fancily. He's a very fine warrior, our king. He's pretty good at recognizing people with skill. And sort of, actually fairly handsome-looking dwarf. Most of these guys look gruff. He's got a pretty well-refined face. His beard is finely trimmed. Wearing a nice outfit. Like, looks like just a pretty handsome dude. Doesn't look like he lives in the dirt.
Can I? Sorry. I've never really asked this before. When I animate a shadow, does it actually look like me, or is it like a shadowy version of me?
Wait, what?
When I animate shadow,
It's a shadow.
Okay, but it says create a duplicate of. Okay, so I wasn't sure. Just curious. Never mind.
Yeah, it's not fooling anybody.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so the first couple of people start to go out. First one is a younger-looking human man. Sort of steps out. He's like, "Hi, I lost my, but I'm very confident. He sort of drops his cards on the ground. He's like, fuck.
I'm just gonna look at the note card I have and be like, "Oops," and just drop it.
Yeah, Thorin's up there, and he's like, "Look, I don't need a big old speech. Come on, what you got for me then?" He's like, well, you see, I've invented this. And he holds a disc in the air. He's like, "Good. That's right. You can eat food off of your it's a plate." No, my lord. You see, it's really strong and powerful, and feast your eyes. Just fine, just look. And so he drops on the ground, and he see a ring appear on his arm. As he twists it over it, and you see this tiny disc start to twist and grow and build. You see it fills with energy as a large golem starts to form in the middle of the area, nearly as tall as the ceiling itself. And then you imagine it should have been as tall as the ceiling altogether, but you realize that the room itself seems to grow to make space for this golem. Even you all seem to shift further away as the space is made for it. You see this large golem sitting there. Thorn's like, "That's very good. Now then, color me slightly impressed." Really, Your Grace? Yeah.
Dang it, why am I standing in line?
What do you think, Uni? Are you impressed? Doesn't move at all.
Is that the princess?
Yeah. Well then, I guess if she's not impressed, I'm not impressed. It's like, I didn't necessarily, wasn't necessarily here for the princess's hand so much as for a chance for your grace to consider this for the Magitech to get into the Dragosite. It's like, oh, right, of course. Elio. He looks over at Elio. Elio looks back at him. He's like, speak with Elio when this is all done. It's a nice looking toy. It looks good. It's handsome. It's nice. Thanks for coming. Next. Sort of calls out. Seemed completely uninterested in this giant golem that formed out of a frisbee.
So, while this is all going on, Roa's going to kind of take a look around, and does anybody seem to be paying any attention to her at all?
Most people are going over their own shit, trying to figure out what they want to do.
Yeah, so she's just going to, like, press herself back up against the wall and just kind of make sure nobody's watching, and then she poofs into the shadows.
Okay.
I'm going to go off and do stuff.
Where are you going?
I'm going to look for the tallest room in the tallest tower.
You're going to try to slink up the stairs? Okay. As you continue to try to slink up the stairs, in the shadows, you find yourself going up the stairs, and 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 going up the stairs.
Are they
and going
enchanted
up the
stairs?
Everywhere you try to go, you find yourself looking back, and you're right at the edges of the room. Even passing through shadows, you don't seem to be able to penetrate whatever it is that is keeping people bound to this area. You thought that for some reason there was some pretty lax security for this whole thing. They asked for your name and they didn't ask for anything else.
It's all magic.
There seems to be some sort of enchanted keeping the people of the lower area encapsulated here. The king himself seems to have no fear being here. We're among all of you, but they don't seem to want the rest. Let you into the rest of the castle.
So she's going to try to approach from the outside.
You try to leave through the front where the doors are closed?
Oh.
Told you the
yeah,
gates
okay.
closed to the front of the ballroom the
Damn.
second you entered.
Well, I guess I go back down and I get in line at the very end.
You get back in line at the very end. It's like, oh, hello. Where'd you come from?
Oh, I was just so distracted preparing. I didn't realize the line had formed, and so yeah, sorry.
You can see that this guy
He wanted to go
the only
last.
person here who is not finely dressed. He's like, oh, no, that's perfectly fine. It doesn't matter to me the way I just sat near the back, and so nobody else would sort of shove me off. In fact, going last seems pretty stressful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a long wait, but at least I get to see what everyone else is doing,
Huh, right.
and I'll know if it's worth trying my best or not.
You notice that this looks like a dwarf.
Mhm.
No beard.
What's your name?
That's a good question. I remember him, I just didn't remember his name. I was hoping you wouldn't ask.
It's not Robbie, is it?
Every GM ever is like, just please don't ask me his name. I know where he was from. I know what he lost his third wife last month. I
Says,
don't know what his name is.
My name is Rue.
Oh, my name's Roa.
Nice to meet you. I'm a blacksmith, see. Well, blacksmith, artificer, tailor, sort of a jack of all trades.
Do you make daggers?
I've made a fair few, yes. Lots of armor bits, but you know how it is for me around here, I assume.
No. Is something wrong?
He sort of leans close to you. He's like, do you not find me hideous?
No. You're a person, just like every other person.
I beg your pardon, but thank you. That's fantastic. I mean, to dwarves, I'm deformed. I don't have a beard.
Oh. Well, I don't have one either.
Well, yes, but you're not a dwarf. If you're a dwarf and you don't have a beard, you're like... You might as well be a cabbage or something.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I've got a place I can sell to a few people in the prisma market. But this is my first time coming to one of these. I caught quite a bit of a break, actually. I'm hoping I can impress the king and maybe get into the Orcalcum district and start training as a blacksmith for real. Or the Dragosite district might be nice as well. Working on Magitech engines would be just phenomenal.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be really, really fun. I hope it goes well for you.
Thanks. Here's my card in case you need any work done. I'd be glad to make you some daggers.
Oh yeah, I love daggers.
Okay. It says Rue the blacksmith.
I think we'll probably just do like some, mindless chatter and stuff while.
Make a perception check.
Okay. If only I still had Amira's wisdom stats. I rolled, but nothing
33.
happened. Oh, there it is. Okay.
You recognize a small symbol that is etched into the corner of his business card.
Yeah?
You've seen that symbol etched into the hodgepodge armor.
Oh. Hey! Are you the guy that made... And I'm just going to reach into my item storage and pull out, like, the very corner of the hodgepodge
You
armor.
start to pull it out, it's like, oh, shit, that's a very cool trick. You might actually get some impression here. Yeah.
Oh,
That's a
it's
good
just, it's... I mean, thank you. It's very handy.
All
But
right.
did you make this?
Oh, yes. Yes, I did. Wow. Wow, you bought it. You bought one of my
I did.
items. Oh,
I did.
Fancy that. That's just incredible.
See, it just caught my eye. It looks so, like,
Have you been enjoying the
unique.
features? I used the white star gunner for that one I did. It's actually quite interesting.
I haven't had a chance to try it out yet, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh, right. Sure, no, it's fine.
No, I will.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
There just hasn't been a whole lot of fighting in the city lately. I mean,
Um,
well, I guess there was.
I
it
imagine
kind of
not.
happened.
Well, good luck to you. Hopefully it treats you well. Third appendage and all. Should be good.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay.
Right then. Awkwardly, sort of slowly turns away from you. You can see he's blushing, like, pretty clearly.
Oh.
Like, he's super embarrassed that you bought something of his. So,
Well, I think it's lovely. So, thank you. Just.
he is stiff as a board as he sort of edges forward. And you see other people. You see that there are a lot of dejected-looking people now making their way out. People who tried to do feats of strength. They're like, oh, I'm going to lift this column right out of the ground. And failed miserably. Just trying to do feats of strength. Are you saying anything, Aramel? I can't actually hear you if you are.
Oh, no, I was talking to myself. I'm like, stiff as a board, eh?
God damn it. No, but you see that there are people doing all sorts of feats. There are people casting large spatial magic that seems to make no sense. Like, you see, like, just, like, lightning called in the middle of the area, large-scale storms erupting. And yet, everybody around them seems fine, as if everything here has been set by some unwritten rule that the ballroom itself makes space for whatever it is they attempt. One by one, there are a few that seem to impress even you all. There's a man who comes out with what looks like a swarm of Magitech insects. That was a man that had talked to you earlier, Roa, trying to get you to join the line. You see these Magitech insects going and just sort of devouring the entire plate of food in seconds. He talks about, like, imagine what this could do to an army. You know, just pick the meat right off the bone, shred them to pieces in an instant.
I don't need
He's
machines
like,
to
do you have
that.
any interest whatsoever for my sister? No, not really, Your Highness. She's lovely. He's like, right then, we should probably stop making nerd lines. A couple of chucks on the way. It's like, Ilio, you realize that this is just a bunch of nerds. They don't even want anything to do with it, do you, Oni? Uni's like, look at these nerds. I don't want nothing to do with them. Uni just sits there, completely placid. You can't see anything underneath her veil. You can't tell if she's thinks this is funny, if she's bored out shitless, but whatever it is, she is just perfectly still.
As the line's moving, I want to try and catch Elio's attention, like without being like blatantly. I was just kind of like.
At this point, you're pretty close to the front of the line, so yeah.
I just want to kind of try and catch his attention if he notices.
Make a charisma check.
That's not gonna go well. Do I get any bonus for my fine clothing?
Yeah, I'll give you a +2.
A +2?
Mm-hmm. You spent 2 platinum on it, so yeah, +2.
Perfect. That's an 11.
Oh, is that opposed to a -2?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's so great.
It's upgraded you to average.
Nice. So you gave him a. It's so great to me. So you sort of like, hey, and it's just like, oh. He doesn't recognize you at all.
I'm then gonna pull out the hat
The hat,
that I tried to put on his head.
and he's just like, and it gives you a sort of raised eyebrow. Now knowing who you are.
Yeah, I'll just tuck it back in and be like,
Oh, please God, let you put the hat on the king.
Okay.
I just had an idea.
Which one of all of you guys was the first person to get into the line?
Locke was.
It was Owen. No, I think it was.
No, it was you. You said you were getting in line. I went in after you.
okay.
All right. You approached Elio. You being next in line. You see this guy swinging a sword around with much skill and precision, and after a while, you can see Thorn's like immediately bored. Elio looks at you, and he's like, "You should be aware. Whereas anything goes to impress the king. If you are interested in using any sort of product, or making any sort of product known and demonstrated, by all means, and we will speak afterwards. If you have any interest in his sister, be wary that if you do impress Thorin, and you do indeed seek Uni's hand, it may not be safe for you. Just fair warning. Secondly,
Oh, hold on. What's wrong with her?
the last person who successfully won this competition and was able to attempt to actually prove themselves worthy was killed within about 2 minutes by Thorin. So,
Right.
they still have to impress them enough in combat. But if you want to stake your claim, feel free. But also be aware, the area will be made to fit the size of whatever it is that you will attempt. No magic too big, no creation too big. Just don't directly attack the king himself, unless obviously you're defending yourself against the king. He has made the rule that you may always try to protect your own life, yada yada yada. You won't be held accountable should you enter the king. And by all means, by no means, rather, are you to make any aggressive act towards Uni. That would be resulting in an immediate beheading.
Right. And what does she look like?
That is for her husband to find out.
Well, that's just. All right.
You must be new.
I think I need a minute.
But,
Can you let the next person go first? I have to gather my words.
Okay, Owen, you're the next person. Gives
Okay.
you a similar speech, but he's like, how did you even make it here?
Because I don't know who I'm not supposed to talk to.
Apparently. Do you have an interest in Uni?
Should I?
Well, the way you were sniffing her earlier.
Oh.
Look, it's sort of a secret, but I figured you must pick her up, being a Lycan and all.
I mean, I didn't know she was here.
Yes. She likes to get around. Sneak out. Have to bring her in every now and again. She was quite
No one-
interested in you the last time, but I wouldn't say in a... Rather, she wanted to fight you the last time, which is
Does
pretty
the
high
king
praise
know
for
that
the-
she sneaks out?
Oh, dear God, no. And if you were to
Oh,
bring
okay.
that up during this, that would also very likely result in beheading.
Right. So don't directly mention that I know something I'm not supposed to know.
Well, just... we all have kept it pretty hush-hush till now, so...
Got it.
I'd like for her to be able to experience to enjoy her freedom. He, on the other hand, is an overprotective ass. And I say that with all the fondness I can muster. He's a great man, but God, does he have a sister complex.
Right.
Very well. As you guys watch, the man who was doing the sword technique is sitting there. And Thorn's like, bored now! Grabs a bone off of his plate, throws it, hits the guy in the head. The guy just conks the fuck out. Rolls over on the ground, head bleeding. He's like, yeah, you weren't gonna do. Who else has anything to impress me with, huh? Who's next?
Just gonna kind of start walking forward, very casually, not like stiff, like formal. Just like it's kind of an awkward procession for impressions.
Yeah, right. It's very annoying. I'm bored most of the time with these things, but I gotta give everybody a shot. You're a lichen, right? Hard to tell. You got horns. You're a bit creepy. You're demonkin.
Things happen.
Yes, they do. I mean, look at me. I'm the first ice spire dwarf that has ever existed. Well, that's not true. I guess my great-grandfather was also an ice spire dwarf, thus the name ice spire. But, in the modern world, it's me.
Fair. Obviously, people have talents that they want to show. I've got several. I'll give you one, and if you like it, I guess you could ask for another, or say you're bored, which seems to be the pattern.
Sure. Give me the best you got.
I'm gonna change into my bigger dog form.
So you all watch as Owen sort of just puts his paw, his front leg down as it slowly melts. His flesh, his armor, everything melts around him into the ground. He's like, ugh, as he forms into a blue, crystal, glass-like, molten wolf. The sparks,
And-
blue fire coming from his mouth.
And since I'm not allowed to directly attack, I'm gonna use molten shards.
Okay, so you launch molten shards all around. Make a general attack roll, I guess, or whatever it is on it.
Yeah, I was like, this one's new. I just saw it and I was like, that'll work. So rep molten glass shards in all directions, area 50 feet. Listed attack versus reflex targets considered marked, yada, yada, yada. Or otherwise removed. So I don't know what the roll is going to be for this.
Okay.
Because you have listed attack, so I don't know if that's...
Yeah, listed attack for you have an ATK up further on the sheet.
Okay, got it.
No.
So D20 plus that number?
Yeah.
I'm going to reroll it. There you go, nat 20.
Natural 20, 205.
Everybody's dead.
You see the wolf steps out and sort of shakes his body. The heat starts charging beneath his skin, and then you see as like what would be fur sort of rising, prickling up, and then it just starts to shake, vibrate at a high frequency, and then it you almost didn't see it, how quickly they expanded from his body. The area seemed to morph and ripple around the area where he is. And you see something you didn't see before. You see a dome surrounding the center area where people stand. And his shards have pierced the dome and are stuck midway through as the dome starts to crack and fall to the ground. Well, I'll fucking be. Nice one, pup. Color me impressed. Uni's head tips upwards, like she's peering down through the veil, and you catch a glimpse of her eyes.
I'm just gonna like at that still in the dog form, just like lay down, like kind of
Like
a
you're
dog.
bored, just lay down.
Not completely bored, but like the very attent but very relaxed,
Kind of like
laying down.
Is it kind of like a just
Where it's not sitting, but like the paws are forward, and head's still up.
Oh, you're like bowing, kinda?
No, not bowing, just like all four paws are on the floor, like you were laying down, but instead of having like the head down or just like sitting, paying attention.
Like a sphinx.
Yeah, kind of like a sphinx, but a dog.
Nice. Okay. He's like, good. Good. Well, consider this man the front runner. Go find your place. Over yonder. He gestures to a now currently empty bench. If anybody else makes it this far, we might have a little competition on our hands.
I'll change back and go sit down.
Uni's head sort of follows you. First time you've seen her move all night. As you go that direction.
And then I'm gonna look over and just be like, like a nod of like, I know.
Thorin looks and he's like, notices Oni look and he's like, oh, right then. Who's next?
All right, Locke's ready to go now. So I'll walk up. We're like, "Hello, Your Majesty."
Wait, what?
It's my turn, right?
Yeah,
Hello,
yeah.
Your Majesty.
Oh, hello.
So in order to gauge how I might impress you, just out of curiosity, you've met vampires before? I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right, then I won't do any of those tricks. What I'll do to impress you is I'm just gonna say 15 words, and I'll play with my ring. And I'll say, I wish for the Cold Stone Undercity King to give Eramil his sister's hand in marriage.
And all of the plans that Gangler had just go crumbling.
I'm sitting here, I'm like, I'm curious how magic inside of magic results.
So, do with that what you will. How you doing over there, Aramil?
So much for my idea, but I was gonna even try. I don't even know what to do now.
I can think of a lot of ways he could do this. I'm just curious what he's gonna do. Did he just go yell or something?
I didn't hear anything, but
Could you repeat those words for me, please?
I wish for the Cold Stone Undercity King to give Aramil his sister's hand in marriage. It's 15 words.
Okay. You do that, and he's like, and the ring's kind of like, you get this feeling like it's like, what the fuck?
I mean, I feel like the ring likes trouble anyway. Right?
It's like,
it's a good troll ring. It's a good troll.
It's like, holy shit. Ring's like, oh my god.
Oh my god, he did that.
Oh my god. And then he looks over at you and he's like, is this supposed to be funny?
I thought it was funny.
I don't really get what that was all about. But, and he sort of walks off a little bit. He walks up to Elio. Aramil, you're standing in front of Elio. He's like, "Hey, go grab one of my sisters." He's like, "Sir? I can't help it. There's something weird's happening here. Give away one of the ugly ones." "Sir? You're going to give away one of your sisters?" "Yeah, I guess. Seems like the right thing to do." "Sir, he just said, I wish you would give me, you're just going to... Actually, I'm quite impressed." "Yeah, it's fine. I've got like 8 of them." "Oh, which one would you like me to get, sir?" "Like I said, one of the ugly ones." "Sir, you really can't imagine that I'm going to objectify one of your sisters." "Trust me, Elio, you can pick one of the ugly ones." You hear him yelling across the room. Uni sitting up there is just like, and sort of like looks at you, and you see she kind of gives a little giggle. Like,
She giggles at me.
Yeah, the chaos that you just caused.
And I'll just kind of like sit there, just like stretching out, just like really content with myself.
He's like, "Fine. Whoever this Aramil is..."
I'll point to Aramil.
Aramil, you like stand out in the line. He's like, "I offer you one of my sister's hands in marriage. With it comes a dowry of 2,000 platinum coins, lands within the Cold Stone Undercity."
Which won't be there in like a week.
She says in the back of the line. Rue's like, "What?" Also, Aftermath Anthem. Thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Sorry.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks so much. We don't like to break the game, but that's really nice. Thank you so much. Thanks for hanging us out and welcome to the stream.
Thanks. For Mustache Daddy. Which one? No, we know it's talking about Aramil. Nobody can resist. Not even King Thorin.
Nice. He's like, "We'll pick her out later, but you know, welcome to the family." And goes and sits back down on the throne.
So I'm just gonna I'll be like, "So are you impressed?" I mean, Uni seems impressed.
I'm literally, I have no idea what just happened, but you're a compelling man, I'll give you that. Take a place on the bench.
I'll go take my place on the bench.
That was damn interesting. Who's next?
Has Thomas
Aramil
gone yet?
actually walks onto the line afterwards. It's like, "Are you here for two
What can I
of my
expect
sisters?
from my brother?
To impress you, I'm going to marry one of your ugliest sisters.
Are you here for one of my... You here for 2 sisters? I mean, I've got several wives myself. I wouldn't be surprised. It's just a bit odd."
I was like, and I pull the stopper on my watch and just try and freeze all time, including Roa and Owen, and just everybody but me.
You freeze everybody but you? Make a
Yes.
time roll, time stop roll.
It's a D100, right?
What am I gonna do? I'm not married.
You always get 1 reroll. You've got a luck point.
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm gonna do that.
Lower. It's gonna be lower.
It's not even a D100, it's a D20, you dope.
Oh, God.
Wait, well, there you go. Reroll.
Well, whatever.
If you converted that to a D20, it would be a 4.
Yeah, but he rolled the completely wrong thing. The odds are...
My bad. I'm getting my things mixed up that I have for rolling things.
20? Time stops. Everybody but you is time stopped. They're just sort of sitting there.
I rush up. I try and go like in hurry and stand like, next to the king.
Okay.
That's present. And I just sit there with my, leaning against the wall with my arms crossed, and just wait for time to unfreeze.
You stand there for about 3 days.
Contemplating your impending lack of singleness.
You don't get hungry. You don't get tired. But it's about 3 days. You're just sort of standing there behind him, awkwardly waiting. Is there anything you'd like to do in your 3 days of time? Like, you want to, like, draw mustaches on people, or...
Oh, God.
Practice alchemy.
Practice
No,
alchemy?
Please,
I
for the
wanna-
love of God, practice your alchemy. Where did all these burn marks come from?
I want to go to every, so before time runs out, I want to be, standing there with arms crossed. But until then, I want to run around and draw a mustache on everybody that doesn't have
A mustache?
yeah, even like women, men, whatever.
Do you draw a mustache on Roa?
No, I leave Ro alone because Ro is my buddy. So.
Don't touch Uni, whatever you do. For the love of God.
And now for the big reveal. Lift the veil on Uni. And your head gets chopped off.
It's the stereotypical, like and it's got one curl, like kind of drawing too.
Okay. You don't draw it on Uni though, right? You were warned
Is it
not
worth
to do
getting killed over?
anything to Uni.
You're going to go from getting 2,000 platinum to being dead.
Yeah. Okay, no, I'm not gonna do it to Uni. Just everybody but Ro and Uni that doesn't have a mustache or any facial hair.
Okay.
And then I'm up leaning against the wall with arms crossed.
Okay. So, after a couple of days of drawing very intricate mustaches that look pretty real, time unstops. You got your hands filled in there, and he's like, "Right, teleportation, pretty good."
I'm like, not just teleportation. It's 3 days later too, sir.
What about the mustache?
No, it's
Also, if you'll notice, I've made everybody suddenly have mustaches.
he looks around the room and he's just like, "Here we go. You have a
Lachlan just-
mustache." Yes, I do, sir. I have a mustache. Interesting. So you have
Locke,
some
you
sort of
look
power
ridiculous.
that lets you put mustaches on people.
Lachlan just like touch his face and then they start reaching into his chest cavity to try and pull.
Well,
It's a very, very, very amazing skill, I know.
I think you're gonna be stuck with the one of my sisters. It's a cool power though. Mustache creation is new magic to me. Not sure about its combat capabilities or practical uses whatsoever, except for to confuse a large group of people.
It's a nice party trick, at least, too.
No, it's a fantastic.
How's the guy in front of Roa feel?
The guy in front of Roa?
Oh, he didn't have a
Oh,
beard.
He has facial hair.
You gave him a mustache. He's like, oh. The charcoal just wipes right off. He's like, he sort of rubs it in though, and kind of looks like he has stubble. 5 o'clock shadow. That might take me seriously now. Thanks, guy.
Aramel's very helpful.
He seems like a really nice guy, honestly.
Yeah, you could say
Gave
that.
me a mustache makes me seem relatively normal. Thanks. Right, better focus. The
Okay.
line continues. You see a few more people, and then you see Thomas Oak step up, and he's like, "Hello once again, Dawn. Oak. Well, what's it gonna be this time? What are you gonna do? What's your plan?" He's like, "My plan is this." He snaps his fingers, and you see, holding in his hand, he's got the king's sword, belt, crown, pretty much anything that wasn't his clothing. And he's got it in his hands. He's like, come on, Thorn.
I knew he was a talented thief.
You know you like my sticky fingers. He's like, Thomas, I swear to God, if you touch anything that belongs to me one more fucking time, I'm more than happy that writing you a letter recommendation to the thieves guilds around the world. But I don't want your sticky fingers anywhere near my sister. It's like, but you never even fought me, have you? Maybe you'll find me a bit more impressive. Maybe I would. You know what, fine. Just this year, take a seat on the bench. We'll see how your medal holds up. Fine by me, King. My lordship. And he goes and he sits down next to Locke, next to Owen. Aramil, somebody's writing you up a marriage contract while you're sitting.
Cool.
Wait, did Aramil make it to the bench? Sorry, I wasn't.
No.
No.
Okay, I didn't think so. I didn't think you.
Where am I? Like, am I still up, just standing
No,
where
you're just
I
sitting
was?
in the around the edge of the room area, not the,
Cord sounds like-
bench of competitors.
That explains how you got my coin purse.
Yes, he's like, I'll go stick your fingers. What can I say? I'm a fairly good thief, pickpocket. Get you in and out of just about anywhere.
Anywhere?
Anywhere.
What about here?
Oh yeah, but that's kind of my final trick in case I fuck up. So, Rue stands up. It's like, oh, wish me luck.
You can do it.
He walks up and he's like, hello, Your Highness. My name is Rue. I'm a dwarf. They all kind of cringe, look at him. He's like, hey, you look like a dwarf to me. And for a second, everybody kind of freezes up. Rue sort of freezes up. It's like, Your Majesty? Aye, fine dwarf. What do you got to show me? Rue starts crying.
Oh,
He's like, aye, lad, don't be frightened now. It's fine. I'm a nice guy. Oh, of course, unless you win and you're actually interested in marrying my daughter, and then, well, things get heated. Got to warn you now. Oh, sir, it's just, thank you. What mentioning? What you got to show me? It's like, well, in all fairness, Your Majesty, I'm frankly more interested in making a fair bit of progress, you know, with some of the other districts. Right? Fair enough. Fair enough. He looks him up and down with like a really discerning eye. Why don't we skip all this? You seem like a man of secrets. Show what you will the earlier or later. Thank you very much, sir. Huh. He sort of takes off, like, happily. It was... You guys saw light in his eyes that was probably the best moment of his entire life.
It's a good thing I didn't kill the king, huh? Just kidding.
So. Roa. You're the last person in line.
yep.
You get a little bit of the lowdown while he was doing his thing, but you weren't really paying attention because you were watching Rue.
Uh-huh.
And
So no, is there like, so the high advisor person's talking to me, right? Telling me the rules and stuff. At some point during this, can I just like reach out and like touch his arm sort of casually and tell his fortune?
You can make me a stealth check.
I just want to touch you.
That's dexterity, right?
Yes. And if you have any other stealth modifiers that come from.
Not that I know of. I think I have to be like in the shadow
Or a cat
right?
or what have you. Yeah.
Yeah,
So it should
I
just
don't
be your
think I-
dexterity.
44.
Yeah, as you start to reach out for me, he says, "Hands to yourself, please, madam."
Oh, sorry. Okay.
He's got an incredibly discerning eye.
Yeah, I figured. It was worth a shot. So Roa will just kind of stride sort of nervously out before the king and
He
maybe
gives
do
you a really narrow look. You're the only
She-
woman here today.
Yeah, that's kind of disappointing, isn't it?
Hey. What, free think a dwarf? If you're interested in Uni,
To be fair, I don't think I can compete in that regards with my friend Owen over there.
well, show
We're
me the most impressive thing you got. I'm here to be entertained as well. It's a good day. Good for the dwarves. Good for all the people here.
well, okay. So kind of the only thing I'm really good at is fighting. And I thought I'd ask if anybody here wanted to fight me.
Everybody else looks around and you hear people kind of chuckling around the edges. Laughing a little bit.
Are any of them close to me?
There's some within like 30 feet or so.
Kind of nudge. I want to be like, those are some dumb ass people.
The king looks down to you and he's like, "No offense, lass, but you probably should have prepared if you were gonna fight someone. I mean, nobody else here wants to look any weaker in front of me. Definitely don't want to lose to you. What have they got to gain by fighting you?
Well, maybe if they win, that'll be more impressive.
Again, how is it impressive to beat on a girl? You're a young lass.
I turn into a shadow panther,
Okay.
shadow cat.
They watch as she turns into a giant, snarling, full-size shadow panther.
Both of us just
Wisping.
abusing our animal form.
Like frightening shadows. And he steps up, he's like, "Oh, now that's impressive right away. Well, you're rare. You're a rare breed. Shadow Panther. Haven't seen a Linux Shadow Panther since a long time back."
I snarl.
Interesting. I'd be glad to fight you myself.
Like, sort of raise my hand, be like, no, you win it.
Roa just kind of lifts the shoulder and like a shrug, like, all right, whatever.
Elio says, "So, like, what she looks like." "Fine, what is it you want, cat?"
I'll turn back into a person.
Okay, that's burned for the session, by the way. Each time you guys
Fuck.
turn into the animal, it's only one.
Yeah, I
session.
know.
I forgot.
We get that bigger form for like,
Yeah,
and that's it.
that's right. I could still kick anybody's ass here, Shadow Panther or not. Anyway, Roa just she kind of like she'll kind of edge in a little bit closer and be like, "I'm here for Esla,
For who?
the girl you've got in the tower."
I don't have any girls in the tower. I mean, I've got my concubines. I've got my wife.
Somebody here has a girl locked in the tower.
Oh no, sweetheart. We never do such a thing. We're a peaceful place.
Somebody here has a girl locked in the tower.
He looks around. He looks at Elio. He looks at Uni. Uni's room's up in the tower.
I look at Uni, just kind of like, bit of a, like, wait a minute.
Uni, you got any prisoners up in your tower? Look, I don't want you coming in here making accusations, right? I'm impressed by your cat form, but I don't think there's anything we can do for you.
They're just kind of like, we'll see about that. Thank you for your time, sir. No,
Gives you an
walk off.
interested look as you wander off. Right then. So who we got here? We got the pup. We got the vampire. And we got Thomas. Again. Uni. I'm not the kind of man that'll choose your suitors for you 100%. Any of these you take a liking to? She looks between one of you to the next, to the next. I'm gonna roll D4!
Wait, are there 4 of us?
No, 4 I'm gonna re-roll. No, actually, nope, I have 4 too. Oh shit, I rolled a 4. She ignores all of you and points out where Roa is walking away. He's like, you can't be serious. She sort of looks at him and sort of whispers. He's like, what do you want to do that for? Well, you don't have to marry a person to talk to him. Look, I'm not that controlling. Be a little bit fair. Pick one of the nice gentlemen then. He hasn't said a word this whole time.
She's like, I know that.
Hey,
trick."
you, cat girl.
Yes.
Don't be going anywhere.
Oh, okay. I stop right exactly where I am.
I'd like to talk to you at some point today.
Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yes.
No, you still got to pick somebody that, if you're interested in anyone this year. She points at Owen.
Just kind of like, oh shit.
Right. Now the part I'm sure you all actually came here for. He steps off the throne, picks up a big ass axe, and he's like, come on. Prove you're good enough.
Just gonna walk forward.
You're gonna fight him?
Oh god, where's Kev BRR?
And I'm
is
gonna
he?
slip the Mirage Blade in my other hand. Not as like a thing yet, just the disc or whatever it was, just into the other hand.
Okay.
Are there any weapons you want that I am carrying for you?
No. Because initially I'm gonna try not to use a weapon.
Yeah, okay.
You're just gonna planetary devour him.
I guess roll initiative to start, right?
Initiative.
I was kind of hoping we
where's
would
it?
get to fight each other and I could kill Thomas out.
I was gonna say somebody could just kill
13.
me, and that would be my impressive trick.
See, that seems like a waste to burn it that way, though.
Yeah,
13.
definitely.
Cool. He goes first.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. That's 182 to hit you.
All right. So how does the dodge with the luck work?
You use that stat. Roll a d20.
All right. So the reflex one.
The one that says no, the one that's not the reflex, but the one that says evasion, fortuitous evasion.
Oh, there it is. Okay. So a D20, you said.
Mhm.
Okay.
81.
I'm gonna reroll that one. 84.
Okay.
A little bit.
So 90 94 is the difference.
Sure.
And then he does this. 17. He does times 10. He does 264 points of damage.
264. All right.
Yikes.
264.
He takes his axe, pulls it up, swings it down at you. It is the hardest, heaviest hitting axe you ever felt in your entire life.
And in this one, it's a quarter life, right? Is when we have problems.
Yeah, when you're at a quarter.
Okay.
You launch through the room, and a trail of ice sort of leaves behind you, but it melts off of you as it hit you.
Just gonna be like, ow.
You can see that you definitely have a cracked rib, and you're bleeding internally from the strike. That was just a normal hit.
Have I tried before healing people from the shadows? I don't think I can do that, right?
Healing people from the shadows?
He's gonna see you anyway.
Yeah, he's gonna see you. They're all watching. He's like, "What was a good warm-up swing? You feeling all right there?"
No.
Well, if you want to return blows, we can do that.
Be like, you hit me like that again, might not stand back up.
Aye.
And then I'm going.
Worth the risk.
I'm gonna make the Mirage Blade into a claw in that hand.
The Mirage Blade? What level did I say the Mirage Blade was?
40.
What level is your claw skill?
Like 3. Let me actually find it though, so I know that claw's level. Yeah, it's level 3.
Okay. Unfortunately, you do not get the full potency of it.
Yeah, no, the goal wasn't to be like full damage. It's just the fact that I have no weapons and now I all of a sudden do.
No. So you can just use 40 as its base attack.
Alright.
None of its other special benefits will come.
Not going to use that to start with though. I want to just do the Hellion Chaos Strike with my other fist.
Hellion
With my
Chaos
demon one.
Strike?
Yeah.
What is that? Ignores half of whichever one is higher?
Yeah, your strike ignores half of target's evasion or defense plus 10, whichever is higher.
Oh shit, he rolled high.
And adds an additional plus
Okay.
20 true damage if the attack lands.
35. You're ignoring half of his evasion?
Let me double check. Ignores half of target's evasion. Yeah, whichever is higher. Yep.
Okay, he rolled an 85.
That's
I'm
gonna be
guessing his
interesting.
defense is higher though, right?
Huh? No, his is well. Oh yeah, that's right. It's because it's not evasion.
This is
so-
the higher one.
Yeah, you right. So that'd be 135.
All right, so then.
I just took the first stat.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
then I gotta actually find. Because we
Just
haven't
feature
done a
figure out.
fight with this in a while, so I'm like, what is my actual damage for this thing? All right. So now it's just like a normal strike with it.
It should be your. Oh, actually, let me pull your sheet up because your stuff's changed, and I want to make sure you. do it
Right.
properly.
So this would be the demon claw doing the strike. So it'd be those numbers.
Well, you can use the demon claw or the mirage blade.
True, but my demon claw base attack right now is 103. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit better, assuming that the chances of hit. I mean,
Well, let me see real quick. Attack unarmed is completely wrong.
well, that's old, yeah.
I don't know if any of this is right. So I can calculate
Scroll
it out real
down
quick. So
to-
first of all, it's 30. Plus your skill with it is plus 10. Oh, it's just plus 6. That's not right. Yeah, no, I switched it to something else. But okay, sure. It's plus 6. Plus 10 is... That's 46.
Mm-hmm.
Plus...
So if you scroll all the way down to the weapons, it has 103 listed for that claw.
Oh, it's because attack is 3 times player level plus strength. Yeah, just use that. That's fine.
Yeah. I was like, I'm pretty sure a D20 plus that number is pretty close.
Yeah, it should be good.
And I'm gonna reroll that. Let's see, how many lucks is that? That's 4 lucks used. What's a crit? 17. I'm gonna try. That's 5. And what do I have? 2 more? No, I have 4 more. 3 more. I'm trying to hit a crit.
2 more.
Fuck. 1 more? Would this be 1 more? So 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. All right. So the best one was what? 15, 118.
118.
118.
Okay. You run at him with the chaos blade. What is the other thing that it says with Hellion Chaos Strike though?
Whichever's higher adds an additional plus 20 true damage if the attack lands and 40 MP. So it has a true damage if I hit him.
Okay.
So as long as I make contact, he feels something.
Okay. So as the blade comes down on him, did you add the plus? Here's my question though: did you add the plus 10 for the
No, so it'd be 128 for that plus 10 in there because I just used the claw number. I didn't add that.
So 128, you're only 7 off. Okay. So as you come down swinging, at first he tries to dodge it, but then the blade sort of whisks around and sort of hunts him. And so he lifts his arm up and he like stops it like it's nothing. But then he also sort of shudders. As you can see, some pain goes through to him, and he's just like, not bad. Not good enough. So he just picks up his axe and just puts it, basically sets it down on you.
Actually, sorry, I just remembered one other piece.
You have free
I don't know if
attacks.
this will make. Well, not this would. I would assume that's just one attack with that skill.
Yeah, right. No, you mean
But,
you can use it only. You can only use the skill once per round, but you can
Right.
attack 3 times.
Oh, okay. Well, but then it would also be the first swing of that piercing strike, so ignores 20 defense. I don't know if that puts it.
No, it's because it didn't. I let you like land some damage because
Gotcha.
it was so close.
No, I didn't know if that would make.
But
a big
technically,
difference,
his evasion would have won because he
Gotcha.
has higher defense than evasion. But I tried to cut his evasion in half, so you at least hit him. But then Locke was right. So
That's fine.
So you missed him, but I've let him take a little bit of shiver of damage, and then he's like, he's about to kill you. So
Is there any way that I could, without anybody noticing, cast a Hellfire Sentinel on Mood from the sideline, since all the focus is on them? You know,
who knows?
I want to try and, discreetly cast Hellfire Sentinel on Mood.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Alright, so what's that gonna be?
That is your
It's
dexterity.
gonna be a nat 20 or
22.
That's pretty good.
By my
Fair
account. Yeah, for me,
Wisdom's
it's
like 50, but
Only one person seems to have their eye on you as you try to cast it. The only person that seems to see it, other than the king, who gives you a very sly look, is Elios. Everybody else is just staring at it, and he just like smiles as he brings the axe down. And you watch as your Hellfire Sentinel, there's like a flashing glow of white. Your Hellfire Sentinel does not respond and retaliate. But Owen doesn't take the hit.
Oh, that's good. I was about ready to put F's in chat for Mood.
No, the remember there's a subtext about things that will dispel it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Locke's gonna just sort of
So
raise his
that-
hand, be like, "So,
There's the axe, and then there's the as it disappears. He looks up.
have we determined yet that Owen's a wimpy piece of shit, and you shouldn't be wasting your time on him yet?"
Oh, you're willing to offer me a better challenge?
Oh no, I'm just saying that he's like a big piece of wet tissue paper.
In the middle
And
of this, while he's saying that, I'm gonna switch into my dog form and hellfire breath at Locke.
The pup form though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it burns everything.
Aren't you on the ground?
No, the blade didn't hurt him.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The
So-
Hellfire Sentinel will take all the damage, regardless of if it's dispelled. Just if it's dispelled, it doesn't get to counterattack.
So yeah, let's see. Let me get my roll. My stuff is so complex. I should make the macros like Locke has. 20 plus. All right, so 20 plus. Fuck. What's my? We're 15 now, right?
Yeah, you're level 15.
Because I can't do math in my head right now. 100 plus Whiz Mag, and that is plus 20. 326.
Well, as he does that, since he's dumb enough to attack me while I'm defending, and I'm gonna look at him and say pain.
Well, roll initiative. Right? I mean,
Well, no, like
he
I'm not
does-
trying to hit you. You're just saying wimpy, and I'm just going no, and I'm just doing it in your direction. I'm not. trying
Oh,
to
I
hit
thought you
with
were
it.
actually attacking me.
No,
If you're attacking me, I can.
because you should be far enough away that that's not going to hit you.
Well, what's the range on it for
It's like a
pups?
20-foot cone, right?
For the pup, it is 15 feet. I would assume everyone was more than 15
he's
feet
further
back.
than
Okay.
15 feet back.
No, if you're just blowing
So
smoke,
you
that's
just-
fine.
Yeah, I was just trying
The
to
small-
write
I was
it's
gonna say,
another
if you're-
form,
The
just a
small
different version.
demonic-looking pup breathes this enormous heat. The king looks scared of that particular blast of heat and sort of steps back. Oy. How many times can you do that, little boy?
And then I'm just gonna turn back to him and just like do like a dog bow, like just kind of lay down.
Hey. Well, I'm not going to say that you beat me. Look at you, you're bloody as hell. But if Uni wants to give you the time of day you can try and quarter, you got my permission.
Change back and just bow my head.
Right. You don't got any interest in the other two then? Looking over at Uni. Shakes her head. Yeah, shakes her head.
And Locke will just be like, "Well, it's all right. I'm fine anyway. I've got my own little piece." So
Blushing in the corner. Pumpkin's just like,
I'm not gonna say mine's better, but
I rolled for it.
I figured he wouldn't like the fire. I didn't actually want to hit the king with
Yeah,
hell
so I was like,
fire when he's ice.
I was like, number of people who were accepted. If it's Owen, it's 1. Locke is 2. Thomas is 3. And sure, Ro is 4. First one, 4. Second one, 1. Interested in the other ones? I'm like, even she's interested. Odd she's not. 1, 3. So, yeah.
I was really hoping to kill that Thomas Oak guy, though.
Well, some other time maybe.
All right, guys. So, with that, the frivolity begins to pick up. The king starts running around. Elios is running around picking up information from people, trying to like make business deals. But the night is still young, and there's a lot more to go. But we'll pick it up next time.
I'm gonna end that with I'm kind of like half like shuffling over to Roa, like
Oh yeah, Roa will
Yeah,
just
you
touch
need
him
to
and
get
heal him.
held.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten to meet my future wife yet. Damn it.